and welcome back to Build Propulsion Lab at Devoxx France 2024, day 3, live from Paris. And my next guest is Lize Raes. Welcome, Lize.
Thank you.
And Lize, a couple of words about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Lize. I'm one of the first line collaborators on LangChain4j, the framework to interact with LLMs. In my not so free time, I'm working as partly head of AI and as a developer in a Swiss biopharma company. And I'm really deep into everything that's AI and LLM.
That's all the hype. AI
Yes.
and LLM, you are right in the money. And the LangChain4j, I just spoke with Stefan Janssen, the organizer of Devoxx, and about his plugin for IntelliJ, and he mentioned that he uses this tool to actually embed all the models into his plugin and allow multiple models to be queried when working with IntelliJ. So is it abstraction on top of different language models?
Yes. So yeah, Stefan is one of our biggest fans. It's very nice you got to talk to me before. So yes, LangChain4j builds an abstraction over large language models, also embedding models, which you will use to retrieve information. We also have document loaders, and since we have so many possible model providers and models, we make an abstraction, so it's really easy to swap from one model to another. In like 2 lines of code, you're talking to to GPT-4, for example, with OpenAI, or you swap it to any model you want. We also support local models via Olama. It's also super easy in LangChain4j. So that's one part of what we offer. And then a very exciting part that we offer too is patterns, for example, to chat with your own documents. And we support really a lot there. Very advanced things also to make it way better than it used to be. We have things like AI services that make you return Java objects. You just don't even write the code what it should do. You just declare an interface like it should do this, and here are some parameters. You can use some tools that we offer you. Then the LLM really decides, oh, I have to maybe call this tool because it makes sense. It calls your Java code. You give it access to your whatever database if you want. It takes your reply. It gives you an answer that includes everything, or also a Java object.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Did you ever struggle with date and time objects and conversions?
Yeah,
All
obviously, right.
You know, like in AI service, you just write, extract the time from this, give me back local date time.
Wow.
It just does it for you.
Wow. This is
Yes.
so cool. So let me ask you something. I spoke with Josh Long spring in day 1, and we actually touched on their implementation of talking with AI, the whatever it's called, the Spring AI, which is also a very elegant way to abstract different models.
Yes.
So how does it compare? Work together? You need to pick one. What's going on with that?
Yeah, at the moment you pick either one. They're very similar in the abstractions they make. We also took our abstractions from the Python LangChain library. Like, we're very inspired by what they did. And Spring AI is pretty similar. Also, in a couple of lines, you're talking to a model and setting up these patterns. The difference is that at the moment we have way more integrations, but also Spring AI is adding integrations as well. And we have more of the latest features of LangChain, such as these complex advanced RAG patterns where, like, for example, you ask a question, the model will find in your documents which parts would be relevant, so it actually knows about these parts. But if you just ask a follow-up question like, and how old is he? That in itself will not find anything interesting because you don't know who he is. So we are adding layers everywhere where you can have another LLM that just bundles everything's been said before and turns into like birth date of Baruch. If we were talking about you, it will do this for you, and then it will actually be able to find it.
This is very cool. So, and you can do it across different models.
Yes. So
wow. So you can start conversation with ChatGPT-4 and then go from there to Llama 3, and it will bring the context over?
That's not automatically in there, but you could set it up like that.
Wow.
But what we do support is that for certain tasks in your process, you will use a specialized model that will probably be like, imagine you just want to split your text or you want to rank if something is relevant. There's specific models that are made to do that super fast, then you don't have to call GPT. So they're faster, they're then cheaper at that specific task. And then for every subpart of your application, you choose your best model and your cheapest and your fastest model.
Wow, and it actually, and there is like a super LLM on top of it that binds it all together.
Yes.
Wow, this is cool.
It's
No,
very
it
cool.
is. It is very
It
cool.
is
It is
amazing.
very cool. So how do we get started?
You go to our GitHub LangChain4j repository. If you scroll a bit in the README, you find tutorials. So yeah, our Hello World is really simply a chat model, and you take, for example, OpenAI chat model because it's really easy with the OpenAI one, and we even have a demo key. You just say with API key demo. And then you just can use your model, you do model.generate whatever is your text, and it will give you an answer.
Nice.
That's it.
Very easy
And
to
then
get
you
started.
run through the tutorials.
And then it's just like a Java dependency that you use Gradle to bring it into your class path, and then it works.
Yes.
Nice. And you'll probably need to set up a lot of access for different models.
Yeah, it depends on how many you want to use. Like usually we give our demos just with OpenAI. It's one key, and that gives you access to all of their models. So GPT-4, GPT 3.5, they have embedding models too. So they all come with the same key. So it's one key you set in your system variables or in your code, but make sure you don't push it.
Don't do it in your code. Don't do it. How does it work with local models? What do I need for that to get started? You know, let's pretend all my knowledge is I used ChatGPT on my phone or in the browser. I don't know anything about local models, but Steven just got me excited about using LLMs on the plane. So I want to do local models. What do I do there?
Like we engineers, we are actually professional lazy people, right? We want to automate everything. And so Stefan on the plane, he wants to keep his coding assistant there even without an internet connection. Like summum of laziness, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So yeah, for these local models, you need some form of GPU. So the latest Mac notebooks, they all have unified memory, it's called. So it has this graphical processing units, GPU, that's needed to run these models because they're actually quite huge. And they also eat quite some of that GPU. And when you have that on your local machine, you can download open source models. There's plenty, and it's evolving super fast. They're getting better and better. You download something that fits within your GPU, and then you can run Olama that will just take care of the layer in between to actually have it run on your GPU. And then with Olama, you can super easily also, it's like a 1 or 2 liner in LangChain4j, you integrate it there, and you're using your local model.
All right, so basically you go to Llama website, it's probably like meta/something, and you download the model, and it already comes with all the knowledge and everything.
Yeah, it's trained. They're usually trained.
Right,
yes.
And then you just download like a huge, I guess it's a pretty large file that you need to download. And then you run it, it's probably like an executable that runs as a service.
Yeah, so like underneath it running CPP files, I think, to access your hardware. But Olama takes care a lot about that too. So you find super good tutorials for this. For example, Hugging Face is like, it's a great website, it's a great ecosystem. They have all the models you want to download, all the open source models are there in different quantizations. So then they actually become much smaller, but they're still quite good. So you can play a bit around with what's best for you. Hugging Face also has instructions. If ever you want to fine tune the model to make it really good at your specific task, they have instructions how to do it. They have data sets to do it. And if you don't want to run it locally, you can also run it. They also provide the service. And then we also have a super easy integration in LangChain4j right from Hugging Face.
All right, so you can spin up a model on Hugging Face.
Yeah.
And then transparently connect to it from
LangChain4j.
Nice.
Exactly.
Well, this is great. Today we learned. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And we will definitely keep an eye as one of the hottest projects in the hottest domains that are out there today. And you all folks, stay tuned. Our next speaker is right here. And we will be back in a second before you even notice. Thank you and stay tuned.